What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your $1,400 third stimulus check update, fourth stimulus check update, and daily news. We got lots going on. There's a new Facebook breach that may affect you. Fox News is reporting that the infrastructure package could raise your taxes. I'll give you the information and let you decide if you think that's the case. And some people are getting a letter from the IRS. I'll show you what the letter looks like so you're aware of this. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on updates on the upcoming round of stimulus, as there is multiple different provisions on the fourth round of stimulus coming out in the near future, and we will be covering all of it. Don't forget to hit the like button, and here we go. A new report is out of a data breach of over 500 million people. That's right, 500 million Facebook users. Phone numbers and personal data has been leaked online as being reported today. A user in a hacking forum on Saturday published the phone numbers and personal data of hundreds of millions of Facebook users for free online. The exposed data includes personal information of over 533 million people on Facebook from 106 different countries, including 30 million records on users from the United States. It includes their phone numbers, Facebook IDs, full names, locations, birth dates, bios, and in some cases, their email address. Insider reviewed a sample of the leaked data and verified several records by matching known Facebook users' phone numbers with the IDs listed in the data set. We also verified records by testing email addresses from the data set in the Facebook password reset feature, which can be used to partially reveal a user's phone number. A Facebook spokesperson told Insider that the data was scraped due to a vulnerability that the company patched in 2019. Quote, a database of that size containing the private information such as phone numbers of a lot of Facebook users would certainly lead to bad actors taking advantage of the data to perform social engineering attacks or hacking attempts. Did you know that there's actually 13 vaccines worldwide that are not in the US? There are 13 different COVID-19 vaccines in use across the globe just a year after the World Health Organization declared the pandemic. All of them are shots to the upper arm. These shots, while a critical tool in ending the pandemic, may not reach everyone. Scientists and drug companies are hustling to find more accessible ways to inoculate people, which includes changing vaccine delivery methods. Globally, there are now several COVID-19 vaccine candidates that could be inhaled instead of injected. A Chinese drug company announced earlier this month that it received permission from the National Medical Products Administration, the Chinese drug authority, to start early clinical trials of the inhaled vaccine. In the UK, scientists at Oxford University are starting early clinical trials to see if their inhaled version of the AstraZeneca vaccine can produce similar immunity as the injected one. While Codagenix, a biotech startup, is beginning its first round of trials on inhaled COVID-19 vaccine. I know a lot of people are wary of getting shots, and a lot of people don't like getting shots, and that's why the Johnson & Johnson one-shot vaccine has been so popular. They actually ran out of the vaccine because a lot of people would just prefer to get one shot instead of two, even though the one shot is less effective because you're getting half the dosage. Well, if they could develop an inhaled vaccine here in the US sometime in the future, you might not need to get a shot at all. Let me know if you would prefer an inhaled injection. I guess, is it an injection? Injection, if it's inhaled? Let me know if you would prefer that instead of getting a shot in the arm. A new chart shows from the March jobs report where the new industries are hiring, where jobs are available. As you can see, the leisure and hospitality here is the #1 sector hiring new people with 280,000 new jobs in March. The government actually hired 136,000, and with the infrastructure plan, this could actually go into the millions when and if the infrastructure package passes. Remember, the Democrats are likely going to pass that on their own, and it could actually create millions of jobs through government infrastructure helping build roads and build the economy and build the infrastructure of America. Next, followed by construction with 110,000 jobs, and professional and business services 66, and manufacturing 53,000. As you guys know, I'm a realist. I'm an independent. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat because mostly I don't really always agree with Democrats and I don't really always agree with Republicans. And thus, I'll show you articles from CNN as much as I'll show you articles from Fox News, depending on if it's relevant to you, if you need to know about it. It really doesn't matter if it comes from CNN or Fox News to me. What matters is the information and bringing it to you guys. Well, Fox News is reporting that the Biden corporate tax hike in the infrastructure package could hit middle class Americans. Here's how. I'm going to show you this, and you can let me know if you think that this will or will not affect middle class Americans with a potential tax hike. President Biden on Wednesday unveiled a proposal for the largest corporate tax rate increase in decades as means of paying for the nearly $2.2 trillion infrastructure slash stimulus package, the next stimulus package, an increase that could indirectly hurt middle class Americans. The White House is billing the 8-year initiative, the infrastructure package, dubbed the American Jobs Plan, as a once in a generation infrastructure fix that will make massive investments in the nation's roads and bridges, as well as the transit systems, schools, and hospitals. The measure will be funded by raising the corporate tax rate to 28% from 21%. As we've gone over in the last few videos, there's dozens and dozens and dozens of Fortune 500 companies. I think the most recent study was 91 out of the top Fortune 500 companies paid $0 in federal tax in 2020, meaning they made billions of dollars and yet paid $0 in federal tax. And in fact, as we went over in the last video, I think it was, these companies actually received hundreds of millions of dollars in tax rebates, totaling $3.5 billion just in the study that was done on the Fortune 500. So not only are these companies paying $0 in tax, at least some of them, but they're actually getting hundreds of millions of dollars in tax rebates. So we, as the taxpayers, are actually paying these companies instead of them paying any tax at all, at least federal tax. So the infrastructure package will raise the corporate tax rate, if approved in this measure, to 28% from 21%, rolling back part of former President Donald Trump's 2017 Trump tax cuts, and increasing the global minimum tax on U.S. corporations to 21% from 13%. But critics say hiking taxes on corporations will ultimately end up hurting workers in the form of lower wages. And this is where it gets subjective here, so let me know your thoughts. Possibly violating the president's campaign promise to not raise rates on anyone earning less than $400,000. Quote, the corporate tax is just not absorbed by the companies. It's shouldered by workers in the terms of lower wages, says John Cartridge, vice president of communications at the right-leaning Americans for Tax Reform, told Fox Business. Quote, that's something to consider. Even a left of center economist will tell you that some measure is borne by lower wages. One study published by the American Enterprise Institute, a conservative think tank, found that a 1% increase in the corporate tax rate is correlated with a 0.5% decline in real wages. And in 2007, the Nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office determined that workers pay more than 70% of the cost of corporate taxes. Quote, when Biden says he will raise taxes on only those earning over $400,000, he's saying his tax law will target only those high-income taxpayers or corporations. Economists, however, trace the economic impact of these taxes past the person writing the check. So let me know your thoughts. Do you think by making corporations pay some taxes as opposed to them getting a tax refund, do you think that will ultimately end up hurting the workers at those corporations by them getting lower wages? Or do you think that's not really the case and corporations need to pay their fair share of taxes? But do you think it will affect the actual workers that work there? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Some people are reporting that they're getting a letter from the IRS here, as you can see here on the screen. Thank you to Cindy Lou for sending me a copy of this. As you can see, it's dated March 26th. And what they're saying is here is, hey, we just sent you a stimulus check. But what's interesting here is, as you can read here, is it's actually the second economic impact payment. And again, what's important to note here is the mailing date. It's March 26th dated, but yet Cindy Lou just received this email, or I'm sorry, this letter today, April 3rd, which is, what is that, 5, 6, 7, 8 days later. So those of you wondering where your March 26th payment is, this letter took 8 days to from the printed date here to arrive at her house. So what's interesting is that they're sending out letters now for the $1,200 second stimulus check, which is long due after many people received the second stimulus check. But I just want to let you know, if you do see this, this does seem to be legit. It does seem to be from the IRS, but it kind of begs the question of, do we need to even be sending out letters, which, this is costing taxpayers money? I mean, think about the cost of a stamp, printing out every single envelope, every single piece of paper, the ink for hundreds of millions of people. Do we really need to do that weeks and weeks and weeks, months really, since people received their second stimulus check? This is not for the third one. This is for the second one. But on the other hand, it might be good if you didn't receive the second stimulus check, in the case that they sent it, you didn't get it, it went to an old address, or they sent it to a wrong bank account that's closed or something like that. Then it might come in handy, but it kind of makes me wonder if they really need to send those out a month or two after you got the second stimulus check. We're on the third stimulus check now, and the majority of people have gotten them. By the way, if you have gotten your third stimulus check in the last 24 hours and you're on Social Security or not, please comment down below. Just know that what it looks like is a lot of people have gotten the third stimulus check now from this most recent wave, the fourth wave of direct deposit. But it seems like some people are still pending till April 7th, which is the official day that this will be clearing on. If you're getting your check or paper debit card or paper check in the mail, just know that it can be a week or more from the date that they are showing you on the IRS Get My Payment tool. And also let me know if you're with the VA, if you've seen anything, an update from the IRS Get My Payment tool, or anything down below in the comments. It will help out our viewers here that are kind of figuring out where their $1,400 per person stimulus check is. A lot of people are asking me, do I think there will be a fourth stimulus check in the next package? And honestly, my answer is yes. I do think that there will be at least a single check in the fourth stimulus package, the infrastructure package that President Biden has unveiled the first half of and is still going to unveil the second half of. I do personally think that by the time they go and pass this, that there will be a fourth stimulus check in there. And honestly, there's multiple reasons. Number one, we had that aide that overheard President Biden say he didn't want to send out less checks than his predecessor, President Trump, who sent out 2 stimulus checks. Biden's only sent out 1. He's only had 1 stimulus package since he's been in office. President Trump passed 5. I do think that President Biden will have at least a second stimulus check. The question is, how much will it be? And will we see monthly recurring stimulus checks for the fourth package? Also, I really expect a lot of other things in the near horizon, as I'll circle back around to that real quick. I expect student loan forgiveness of at least $10,000 in student loans forgiven, as Biden's already done over $2 billion of student loan forgiveness, but he said he's in favor of at least $10,000 in student loan forgiveness. I'm expecting that to happen, but the real question is, will it be in the next package? Will we see Social Security raises in the next package? Will these be done through standalone bills or after the next package, or done through executive orders? What will we see? Will we see more mortgage rental assistance, utility assistance, property tax assistance, as well as another unemployment extension to maybe get that to go through the end of the year? So yes, I actually expect another unemployment extension to go through the year, the end of the year as well. I also expect that they will be passing another $10,200 of unemployment tax-free income. Remember, they passed that in the third stimulus check package, but it's retroactive for 2020. If you got that, or if you're going to be getting it, the IRS says that that will be coming out starting in May. Hopefully, I'll keep you up to date on when we can expect that money. The average person is going to get an extra $1,000 from that if you had $10,000 of unemployment income last year. I think I seen the average person who was unemployed last year receive $16,000 in unemployment benefits. So that's just one of the other things I expect in the upcoming round of stimulus, or before all is said and done. Another $10,200 of unemployment income tax break for 2021 for this year, and at least a fourth stimulus check. Honestly, the number I'm seeing over and over and over through all these different articles is $2,000. Both of the stimulus bills that have been introduced within like the past week or so for stimulus checks for the fourth round are $2,000 stimulus checks, followed by monthly recurring payments. This bill right here, as shown on the screen, is for $2,000 and then $1,000 payments for up to 1 year after the pandemic is over. The other bill that was introduced was for $2,000 stimulus payments every month until the pandemic is over. This one is $1,000 recurring until 1 year after the pandemic is over. And honestly, the Democrats are going to pass this bill by themselves without any Republican support, most likely. So, really, the Democrats can put anything they want in this bill. I think, kind of worst case scenario, we'll see a single non recurring fourth stimulus check. Best case scenario, we do see the monthly recurring stimulus checks, among all the other things that could be in the next upcoming round of fourth stimulus. So I'll keep you up to date on everything, as well as hot breaking news. As you know, it's been some crazy news lately. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new updates. Click the bell icon after subscribing to get all notification reminders so you don't miss out on new videos. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video teaches you how to start your own business selling products on Amazon FBA. I've had dozens of students replace their 9 to 5 income selling products on Amazon, and I teach them how to do that. Click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.